And I'm going to tell you why. Because Jesus was the greatest psychologist ever walked this earth. And he knows that when we do something that is not proper, we need to talk about it, whether you like it or not. How many times we hear people are going for counseling after they lost somebody? How many people are going for counseling because they have some situation in their life that they need to really deal with? How many people spend hundreds of dollars in the hands of psychologists just for that psychologist to hear them talk? Did you ever know that? He does not give you any answer. He just hears you talk. Because I don't want to go to my wife because I will make things worse. I don't want to go to my husband, the same thing. I don't want to go to my children. I don't want to go to my friends because I don't want them to hunt me again or come back with what I say to them. And that's why Jesus knows that humanity is fragile. It's fragile. And that's why he gave us the sacrament of penance. So the first stage is to admit that you have sinned. And this is what's missing in the world today. We have lost the sense of sin. We have lost the sense of sin. Today you ask people to go to confession, they laugh at you. I have no sins. After all, that's something of the old. If you really want peace in your life, you have to unload your junk of the past. If you want true peace, you come to peace only through Jesus Christ, who is the author. We call him the Prince of Peace. And Jesus will never come to you and dwell with you if you are not clean. Evil and good, they don't go together. And so what the Lord is saying to us today is, empty yourself from the attachment of sin. I have been preaching this through all Lent and even during the season of Easter. And still, many of you do not go to confession. I don't understand that, and I don't know why you come to church. Because if you want the true peace of Jesus, there is only one. Let go of your sinfulness. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. You will never have peace. The only peace that comes to us is from that sacramental sign of the church. There is no other way. If you commit a mortal sin that goes against one of the commandments, the only way you can be forgiven is to the sacramental sign of the church. That is the sacrament of penance. You can come to Mass how much you want. You can say how much confiture. You can say how much act of contrition. You still are in your mortal sin. And that's why the church in her wisdom gave us one of the precepts of the church. That once a year, if you have committed mortal sin, go to confession and receive communion. My dear people, if you do not understand this, you don't understand Easter. Because Jesus rose from the dead to really reconcile us with the Father. He paid off when he died on the cross, and now he is inviting you and me to accept that peace. And what are the signs of peace? The signs of peace is love. Love is not what I write on a card, I love you baby. Love is when you die to yourself to serve others. When you are a husband who see your wife going through a hard time, you aid yourself, you give her your aid. When you see your people who are really going through a hard time, you don't need to be called, you don't need to be asked, you offer your service. You make sure that your people in your neighborhood, if they are going through a hard time, you are there. How many times people in your neighborhood, they experience the death of their loved ones, somebody is in the hospital, and we don't care. That's the idea of parish council, not to tell the pastor what to do. It's to bring those affairs to the table and see how can we reach these people. How can we help these people? That's the idea of the concern of the people. You advise the pastor, you give advice to him, and then all of us will come together to consensus how are we going to reach out to these people. Are you a person who brings so much joy wherever you are? Are you a person that really are kind and really go out of your way to really show kindness to others? Are you really a fortress of faith when it comes to defend our faith? This Sunday we call it Mercy Sunday. Many of you say, why? Because not only it is because of the gospel we read, and that gospel we read is God shower His mercy to us, but also God is asking now that we have received His mercy, shower it to others. Defend the right of the people. Stand up for what is right and just. Go against the system that is going always against the very teaching of the church. Many of you have read the diary of Sister Faustina, which today is Saint Faustina. Saint Faustina, when she was called by God to this very visitation, her confessor asked her to write everything she's going to. And twice Jesus told her, I want you to write down that I want to shower mercy on those mothers who commit abortion. We disagree, or we are against the sin of abortion, but we are not against the mother, because sometimes that mother is a victim in situations. We are asking those people who have committed to come to Jesus and let go of it. But first you have to forgive yourself. And then when you forgive yourself, you come to the Lord and the Lord will forgive you. Because many times we are refusing forgiveness because we ourselves are not ready to let go. It's not in this parish, but I was called one night to go to give the sacrament of the anointing to somebody who was very, very close to death. She was dying of cancer. She was very much alert. And I went in and she said, oh, thank God you came. And she said, send everyone out of the room. I want to talk to you. So I asked her to excuse. I closed the door. And I said, yes. So I want to go to confession. And she said to me, I have a sin that I never confessed for 50 years. When I was younger, I committed the sin of abortion. And I cannot forgive myself. And here I am about to die because the doctor told me so. And I want to let go of this. I want to be forgiven of this. 50 years carrying that mark in her heart. Go and tell these people who are speaking about abortion that the woman has a right, what guilt they bring from that. They don't speak about that guilt. That woman carried that guilt for over 50 years.